I was raised as an only child, which I think was a little bit hard for my sister. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We once again are back with 3v3 season, which is nice to get some change from 5v5. There's a lot of fun teams to be discussed here, folks, and let's discuss them, shall we? I also have an offensive teams video, which I think is full of insightful, amazing insights, and I go check that out. It's linked in the video description, or you can wait to the end of this video and find it there. Huge shout out to my patrons. I couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for your support, guys. You are all really awesome and amazing, and if I would really appreciate it if you wouldn't mind just hitting that thumbs up button, guys. Help me out the algorithm. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Let's get going, shall we? So whoa, we're in the game again. I already recorded the offensive teams video. So anyways, this is going to be an interesting season, folks, because we don't have those two really stupid teams that we used to have to fight every single match with the Kenobi with Ezra and the Hodocron. We don't have the Pointy Teeth Ray Cron anymore. We will have Hondo to deal with some. We have a really good Ray Cron. We have a really good Supreme Leader Kylo team as well. Jabba will be on defense. We'll have all the things. So we'll discuss them here. So we've got Jabba on defense once again, and loading him up with a bunch of tenacity probably can't hurt. A bunch of health or something. I mean, we don't have defense Cron anymore. Probably just give him the sortie Cron, because I think that mostly makes them Wampa proof. Maybe not 100%, but I think that's it's a pretty good deterrent to a lot of different teams. That high potency is pretty nice on that team. And I mean, you can keep it for offense and take down things like Inquisition, but I think they're cheaper things. So Jabba on defense, we kind of, if you have all the teams, which I realize not everyone has all the teams, and I try to make videos about things for people who aren't at the end of the game, but I think this is one of the teams that you kind of want to just put a lot of teams on defense, a lot of GLs on defense, because people don't know how, like, they want to instinctively use their own Galactic Legends to counter them, and if they run out of Galactic Legends, well, you still have a bunch on defense, then I mean, it could be bad for them. It could go poorly. So this is an interesting combination here, folks. So we've got Supreme Leader Kylo, and he kind of doesn't need Pointy Teeth Ray this time, because First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot has an Omicron or a datacron that's really strong with them. So I think for week one, maybe we just put this team on defense with Hux, just to stop turn meter gain and stuff. It'll probably get picked off pretty easy. This team isn't nearly as strong as the Pointy Teeth Ray team that we've been all become accustomed to, but I do think that this is going to mess with some people a little bit if you have the Special Forces TIE Pilot Cron, I should say. So I would use this team, and then that opens the door for, like, this team doesn't look that good, but Crew with his pre-taunt and everything, and then if you have Pointy Teeth Ray with her Omicrons, which are just really strong, you can, and then like the First Order TIE Pilot with his Omicron, it's not broken, and he is Relic 9 here for me, but that's just because of platoons for Rise of the Empire territory battles. But anyways, he's with his Omicron. It seems like this is going to be a decent team. Like, it's not gonna be a world beater, but it'll be interesting to try splitting Pointy Teeth Ray off of Supreme Leader Kylo. So really interested to see how that's gonna go. I do think that the best version of Ahsoka, guys. So the question is always where does Ezra go, right? And I think the best version of these two teams is going to be Ezra just goes with Ahsoka. And yes, that might be a little lame. You want to put Hera on this team just so that you can You can put Fracture on like Great Mothers if they're going to try to counter you with them. And if you do the turn meter, the 25% turn meter datacron level 3, then these guys just won't be beat by Great Mothers. Like, you'll Fracture Morgan right away, and it'll just be a bloodbath. So I do think that Ezra on Ahsoka makes the most sense, because yes, you can put Watt with Ahsoka and someone else, and that stops a lot of counters. It also opens the door for people to just use Jedi Revan, which is such a cheap counter. And so I think going with Ahsoka, or with Ezra and Ahsoka, probably the best. And then Rey does have her cool Ufukron, and so the whole team can use the level 3, the level 6, and then she'll get her ultimate quite a bit, and so she'll be her whole team will be unhurtable for long periods of time. And Cal, I think, if you're not going to put Ezra on the team, Ezra's probably the best version of the Rey team, frankly. But I think Cal is a good second choice, just because. And then if you could just load them up with a ton of health, just tons and tons of secondary health, on the datacron, if you can manage it. Or another option is going to be that Jawa cron, the focus datacron, just because it gives a ton of awesome stats, which it's kind of sad to use Jawas like that, but I think there's like Malgus just stomps that kind of team. I just don't think there's any way that Jawas are good in 3s, really. There's probably some ways, but anyways, I think Rey's going to be really good. Lord Vader, once again, so we have the thick cron now, so we can give him an extra, 30% protection and 30% health, and that protection just folds into health, of course. And this team is just going to be really thick. I'll be very interested to see, especially if you can find a bunch of protection or health secondaries to give to these guys. On your datacron. We don't have defense anymore, but like Bo-Katan, we're trying to beat the Bo-Katan team with the Rolocron, just deleting things. And Bo-Katan has done really well. Remember, Bo-Katan in this comp, though, has to kill Lord Vader first. So if you can make him tanky enough, then Bo-Katan might really, really struggle, even with that Rolocron. And I think without the Rolocron, they just kind of get like Bo-Katan just gets shut down as a counter in 3s. So we'll have 1 month of struggle, and then Bo-Katan will just eventually lose, I think. All right, so you can put Tarkin on defense. I just think that there's a lot of teams that solve Tarkin really hard. Like Malgus deletes this with every version of it. Like Malgus with Marauder and Dark Basti beat this at like a 98% win rate or something crazy, even in Kyber 1, in all the Kybers. It's a bloodbath. It's not, and this team does beat Tuskens at least, so it does okay on offense. So Hondo, this one was really interesting because you can't have everything. You kind of want to, like, my first like, after looking at the Captain Silvo cron, I was like, yeah, we should just do that. We should use Silvo, but then I think Silvo is just going to constantly be resetting Pirate King Hondo's cooldowns. So Hondo's just going to spam his mass assist, which is not good if the people assisting are Vayne and Silvo. They don't do damage, and the mass assist, the double assist from Hondo, is just going to, it doesn't call himself to assist, it just calls his friends, all other pirates. And so he's just going to do that, and it's going to destroy his, it's going to destroy his profit margin, haha. And that's the only way he does damage, is by ramping a bunch with profit. But if he's just constantly spending on that double tap assist, like Vayne gets to hit twice and Silva would get to hit twice, it just wouldn't do that well. I don't think. I mean, I'm not totally sure. Maybe that's going to be what's better. I think Honda's going to do a lot better with some kind of good offensive character. And so Hondo, neutral Hondo, does a lot of good damage. He ramps pretty quickly with the Hondo cron. I think that this is the best version of the team, at least in my estimation so far. we'll have to see as this goes on, but I think you put this on defense with the Hondo Cron and a good pirate level 6, and this team is going to end up being very, very challenging to beat in 3s. I think people said it sucked in 5s. I kind of disagreed. He got a lot of holds against a lot of stuff, but I do think in 3s it's going to be a different animal because he's going to revive his team periodically with his ult, and he's just going to ramp his damage and eventually kill you. Vayne ends up being very, very tanky as well. Should be interesting. Baylan, you can put him on defense, and you have the Merrick Cron. He does some cool stuff on defense. He probably gets deleted by Jedi Master Luke. If that's acceptable to you, then let's move along. Inquisition gets deleted by Seer Malicos plus a third. But if they didn't bring that, if they want to put it on defense, if they want to do some weird stuff, like, but you could put this team in the back and see if they want to use Seer Malicos Starkiller on your Rey. And then when they get to the back, there's not a ton of stuff that kills this. Malgus does kill it, but it could be a little rough for them, especially if you're well reliced and well modded. You can do some good stuff. This team on defense, I think this is going to be kind of the default. We put it on defense and just leave it. Jedi Master Mace. A lot of people have Jedi Master Mace now, and I think this is the best team because then you can have a Kylo Ren Beck team with Temple Guard. I do like Temple Guard instead of Ayla here, but then Ayla is not good with this Kylo Ren Beck. Like, so you could do, if you wanted Temple Guard to be with Mace, then people are going to have to use like Traya. Traya beats this every time. Super easy. But if they do use Traya there, then like they'll put Shock T on this team a lot. So you don't want to, if Ayla's not with Mace, then don't use Ayla at all. She just gets discarded. But Temple Guard can go with Mace, and then you can have like Shock T on this team, and then Shock T sometimes will hide Jocasta. This team is very susceptible. Both of them can be beat, I think, by Malgus as well. Like Malgus is just he's a free spirit, man. He doesn't want to be chained to one single counter, so he's just gonna counter a lot this season, including he's gonna, like every good Sith, he's going to hunt Jedi. Especially Jedi Vanguard. All right, you can put this pirate team. You're like, oh my gosh, I have these high relic pirates because I have to for various reasons. You can put this on defense. No promises, guys. I think this team is much stronger than it looks, frankly, especially if you have relics, high relics, and good mods. I'm not saying it's going to be the best. Trench has a really cool cron. It's going to be really good in 5s. It's going to be really good in territory wars. I really don't know if it's going to be any good in 3s. My friend Tom, huge shout out to him, who I talked to about all of these comps, or maybe not all, but quite a few. He gave his personal stamp of extreme approval. No, he didn't. He's very. It was like pulling teeth trying to get him to talk about this team, actually, because he doesn't think it's going to be that good in 3s, but we'll see. But I think on defense, the one thing I could get out of him is that he thinks Dooku is probably the best third, and of course this kills the team. If you want to take Watt off of the team and have him hang out with Galactic Legend Ahsoka, that's fine, I guess. If you want to do that, I don't love that, but Watt, if he's not on the team, this team isn't going to be any good. It's not worth placing if you don't have Watt. So you do want the Trench Datacron, of course. I hope that was implied. Okay, so Saw with Luthen, and then I guess you could just throw Captain Rex on there. Yeah, I mean, this team is still pretty potent. Still does some cool stuff. It's not the very best. It does fine though. It does good without some of like the really crazy crons that we've had in the past. This team isn't as good. I'd be interested to see a world, like I might experiment this season with throwing the Rolocron with them, because it was really good in 5s. I don't know if it's probably pretty good in 3s too, frankly. This team could be so frustrating to get through on, honestly. The people have to use a real team to get through it. Queen Amidala. So this team is going to end up getting killed by Traya quite a bit. It's going to be killed by Bane quite a bit. But there's still not very many counters to it. Like Great Mothers are pretty risky, and using any kind of galactic legend, like not all galactic legends can beat this. Like if someone wants to use Jabba on it, I guess they can, but that means you don't have to fight Jabba. And I mean, yeah, then they're wasting a galactic legend in some way. So pretty good on defense, and it's not the panacea like kills everything you want with the Krennic Kron. That one's gone now. So this team does pretty good though on defense. I think they just go back on defense and we start forgetting about them again. It'll be fun. And then so you can still put Tuskens down. I think that eventually Tarkin's just going to be used to delete these guys, I guess. I'm going to try that this season, but this is an option still. They used to be really, really strong. I wish Raider... I wish they would like update this team a little. Like it was such a menace for so long, and now this team really is starting to show its age, unfortunately. So here's an interesting one, folks. If you put the turn meter level 3 on this team, which you typically do, then if you have Zori at a decent speed, then you're still going to go first. You're going to get Death Mark from Rose, which is what the AI does a lot anyways if you use the Rose level 9. And so you're still going to get a lot of turns and a lot of like damage and stuff. I'm really interested to see how this goes. Otherwise, you could put Finn here. The level 6 stun is the other thing you want to get. Level 6 stun with Rose level 9, and I think that this will be really interesting to see on defense actually. But you do need those specific datacron things like the stun and level 6 and Rose level 9 if you want this comp. If you want to use Finn, that's fine. You still want a stun on level 6 though. So Great Mothers, I talked about this a little bit. You can put it on the offensive side. You can keep these guys for offense. They don't have a specific assignment, at least that I'm aware of yet, but you can. You can also put them on defense. And I mean, there's the Night Trooper Kron. You could even throw Night Trooper on this squad instead of Spirit. There's still a decent number of counters to this team, of course, but it does an enormous amount of damage with Night Sisters Kron. So offense or defense, this team is pretty good. It's kind of a flex team, whatever you want to do. Skywalker, just remember your opponent can probably beat this with like a really strong CLS team or just a, I mean, there's like Maul will beat this every time if they know what they're doing. There's a lot of teams that can beat it, but if you need a filler team, it's not a bad team, honestly. It's just not the best. You can put Gungans on defense. They don't have their Kron anymore, so it's not going to be quite as good. Oh, you probably don't want Tarpals there, actually. Here, let me fix that. Hold on. All right, look at that. It's fixed. I think on defense, you probably want Phalanx just because you're trying to time them out. And we don't have the Tarpals Kron anymore. We don't have the frogs aren't as special, but they'll still annoy people. They'll still require, and people remember how frustrating this team can be and overcompensate potentially. So that'll be great. Iden, I think a lot of things like Wampa's gonna just delete this team. I think pretty hard. Remember, Iden is the one who's taunting here, so quite a bit at least. So you can have Death Trooper and Range Trooper. I think this team seems more fun on offense, frankly. I don't know if it's going to do any good at any point, but we'll have to see. This is an okay option on defense as well, especially if you're playing against people who just don't have as big of a roster. You know, they don't have as many things that can counter this stuff. And if people are using Wampa on other things, then Iden could potentially be an issue. I think that we could potentially just use Bad Batch to kill this too. And then finally, we have this team is just worse and worse, honestly. But Qui-Gon on defense still gets holds on a lot of different levels. In Kyber 1, I don't think it's going to get too much traction, but it is another option. So that's it, folks. Those are the teams this season on defense, at least that I'm suggesting. I hope that they work out for you. And let me know what teams you think are going to be good on defense. I'm always learning from you guys. Come hang out live. There's links in the video description. Guys, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zereth prevails. Take care.